Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine. Today I'm going to show you another workout you can do in your home. We're going to use a few more modalities or exercise tools. So remember also to warm up before you start. So press pause, warm up, go grab the equipment that you're going to need. I'm going to use a medicine ball, but you can also use a dumbbell. It's not like a necessity that we use a medicine ball. You can also use a dumbbell for this. And I'm going to do some bridges on a ball. If you don't have a fit ball, you can do bridges on the ground. And besides that, all I'm going to use is a tennis ball or some sort of small ball. So go ahead and press pause, go find that equipment, get your warm up in before we get started, and come back and join us. All right, so we're going to start on the ball today, as you might have guessed, with a medicine ball. Like I said, you can use a dumbbell for this. We're going to do a lat exercise. So I want you to be in a bridge on the ball. So if you are not comfortable going into a bridge on the ball, meaning you go out and you rest your shoulders and your head comfortably on the ball, you want your hips straight up towards the ceiling, and you're going to hold this. So if you are too unsteady on the ball, do this on the ground. It's just as effective. You can lie down on the ground. We've done that in the past where you flatten your back to the mat, press your hips up, and then you can do this exercise on the ground. Also, if you don't have a ball. So I'm going to raise this ball up into the air and lay it out behind me with my arms straight the whole time. Now, importantly here, keep your hips and your back in alignment. When this weight goes up over your head, you may feel the urge to kind of arch your back. I don't want that. It puts pressure on that low back. So really contract your abs here to keep your back strong. So we're getting a good lat exercise here. And your goal is to keep your hips and your back still and in alignment so that you don't go back here and kind of arch like this. That's not what we want. You want to keep those glutes engaged, keep your abs engaged, and we're going to go forward and back like this 10 times. Now, if you found that you've grabbed something too heavy, go ahead and stop. I'd rather have you stop and grab something lighter so that you don't injure yourself. Also, here we're just going straight overhead so that it's parallel with the ground. I don't want you going like all the way to the floor or anything with this medicine ball. That's going to put your shoulders in a bad position. If you have pain with this, just do a smaller range of motion. Okay, and then walk yourself back up. Then hang on to that medicine ball or that weight, whichever you have. You could do it with a kettlebell, you could do it with a dumbbell, anything that you have laying around your house. A jug of water, too. All right, I'm going to raise this camera up a little bit and we're going to do some squats. So kick my ball out of the way. All I want you to do is hang on to that ball, adding a little extra weight to your squat. So we're going to sit back, make sure nothing's in my way. Sit back, just holding this at my chest. So remember, you want to, I'm going to come over here so you can see me better. Sit back into those heels, feet a little wider than hip width apart. Really putting your weight in your heels as you sit back. You want to keep your chest up nice and tall. So we're holding that ball. I don't want leaning over like that. Then you're putting more into your back. We want to make your legs do all this work. We want to make these big, large muscle groups in your legs really work here. So we're going to go up and down 10 times. Keeping your head up nice and tall, good posture, shoulders down. If you do have knee pain with this, just do a smaller range of motion. You don't have to go very deep. And make sure, let's do 10 all together. Okay. Remember, when you set heavy objects down, to use good form with your back and your legs. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to do a plank on a bench. So it's just using an elevated surface. We've done lots of planks over the months. And you can do this on a sturdy chair, maybe with a pillow under your elbows. You can do it on a coffee table, maybe on your bed, depending on the height of your bed. A bench, a little bit of an elevated surface, can be really beneficial in doing a plank. So all of the same rules apply if you're on the floor or up on the bench. So you want your elbows directly beneath your shoulders, your head in line with the rest of your spine, so you're not dropping like this and you're not looking up like this. You want to keep a nice alignment with your neck and the rest of your spine. You're keeping your hips down. This is a common thing I see with planks, and you really want to keep those hips down so you have a straight line from your heels to the top of your head. Really engaging those abs. You can kind of oscillate a little bit on your toes, but don't do this. This disengages your abs and puts your shoulder in a bad position. So you want everything in alignment, keeping your shoulders down away from your ears and your elbows directly beneath your shoulders. So we're gonna hold this. I'm sure we've held it for at least 30 seconds now, but when you come down, you can just drop one knee and then come up. Okay, so you're still going to get a good challenge doing it that way versus on the floor. If you can do it on the floor, that's fine. You can do that too. But this is an alternate way to do it so that you can progress in the plank and feel like you're making strides towards a full plank that is in good form, using the proper muscles and not doing anything like raising your shoulders or raising your hips. Okay, next I'm going to move my bench out of the way. And we're going to do some side step punching. So what I want to do, I talk about lateral movement a lot with you all, and so this is going to incorporate some lateral movement and then a little bit of a punch. So getting a little bit of explosive movement in with a punch. So instead of just reaching, I want you to do kind of an explosive punch and pull back. So I want you to step out to the side, punch. Step out to the side, punch. Keep your hands up here like you're fighting. Punch. Step, punch. And you can go, you know, depending on the size of your room, you can just go back and forth a few times. Step, punch. Step, punch. If you're having shoulder pain with this, slow it down a little. Don't give such a force. Keeping your elbows up here, your hands up near your face. I'm just going to go back and forth a couple times. Depending on, you know, you can do this down a hallway. Just make sure you have a nice wide open space so you don't accidentally punch a wall or something. Okay, good. Next, we're just going to do calf raises. So this is a really good ankle strengthener, lower leg strengthener, working on these muscles can really help us with our gait, with our walking patterns and our balance. So I want to go nice and high as you can, up on those tiptoes like you're trying to see over something. So envision like you're a little kid and you're trying to see over something in a crowd. If you need to, use something for balance for this so that you can get a good full range of motion. I want you to go up as high as you can on those tiptoes and then back down. Lowering slowly. You don't want to go up and then drop down. So we want to go slowly, both directions. Think about spreading those toes out in your shoes, using that to really work that full range of motion, working all those muscles in your feet and toes and your ankles here. So we're going to do this 10 times. Remember, use something for balance if you need to, so that you can do that nice full range of motion, both directions in a nice slow manner. Sometimes if people are just trying to do this with balance, which is fine, they don't get quite the range of motion that I'm looking for. So this is really just working on those calf muscles, feet, ankles, to aid in our balance and our walking. Okay, great. The final one for today is doing a single leg stance. We're going to end with a little bit of balance. Remember I said this was not a balance activity. It does aid in your balance, having stronger feet and ankle and calf muscles. But what we're going to do next is do a single leg stance, ball catch. So you can use any type of ball here. If you have a playground ball, if you have a racket ball, anything. So generally when we're working on balance, we'll stare at a spot to really focus in to hold our balance. Well, here, it causes you to have to change your gaze. So challenging your balance even further. And then also, you're going to notice after those calf raises that those muscles are going to be a little tired. So this may be even more challenging, but that's the goal, is to really challenge those muscles, make them stronger, reduce those falls. So if you're having too much trouble with the single leg stance, do a tandem stance instead. And then throw the ball back and forth here. I'm throwing it up nice and high, challenging my balance, watching it with my gaze the whole way. After you've done about 30 seconds on one side or with one foot in front of the other with your tandem stance, switch sides. And you can challenge yourself too. If you're doing 30 seconds, challenge yourself to do longer. If a tandem stance is too much, just stagger your feet like this. So they're not really full on tandem, but they're staggered to have a narrower base of support. You're still working on that balance. Hand-eye coordination, all of it is a really good sort of cognitive challenge as well. Okay, great. Now start over from the beginning. You can either go right back into it and do all the exercises again, or you can press pause and go do 5 minutes of cardio, come back, do it again. Try to do it all the way through 2 to 3 times. Really challenge yourself, challenge those muscles. If you're having any pain with them, use the smaller range of motion, use a lighter weight, and send me a message if you need a different idea for any of these exercises that I'm giving you, because I don't want you to push through pain. I want you to stop if there's pain, and we'll find a different way to do it. Okay, hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.